May I now request the next speaker, Colonel Gaurav Singh, Chief Consultant from Mr. Pinkerton. He is a PhD and a multifaceted technocrat and a leader. Armed with an MTech and doctorate from IIT Delhi, he has 22 plus years of experience in managing technology, automation, and projects in the Indian Army, government institutions, and industry. May I request you, sir?
Vanakkam. Thank you. So, people talk AI like it was, cricket in India, right? To understand and deep dive into AI and understand the application as to how AI can actually help you in your work, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your family relations, on how you behave, etc., etc., etc. That deep dive is required in this era because we are not going to excel without it. We want to excel, we need to deep dive. Right. How many participants from the manufacturing sector, oblique production? Okay. How many from IT sector? Okay. How many from technology vertical in any company, taking care of technology? All right. All right. So before I start the presentation proper, I must thank all the distinguished guests, the dignitaries on stage, the management and leadership of NIQR to have me here, and of course the lovely audience. Right. We are in an era where we are undergoing a paradigm shift. The quality is no more, and it has been said before in the previous sessions, it's no more the last stage of QC passed. It is the action that has to be taken at a cellular level of any manufacturing or a production process, be it any industry, be it manufacturing, automotive, or any kind of other manufacturing, pharma, etc., or service industry, or even IT production. You know, in any case, you search for a job these days, and you ask for product engineer or program engineer, you always almost get returns that are pertaining to the IT industry rather than manufacturing industry. So in any case, we can't be aloof from, we are in an era which is interfaced, intermingled. It is very difficult to differentiate, IT and manufacturing and technology. It is all intermingled. Right, so Strategy Digital Labs deals with AI solutions, wherein we deploy AI applications and algorithms to solve the industry and government's problems. We are majorly into digital twins since 2014. Yes, it was conceptualized by NASA in 1955, but it was declassified only in 2010. So we were the first ones to go to Changi Airport and deploy the first digital twin there. This journey of next 17 minutes, there'll be a few quizzes, there'll be a few questions, queries from me to the audience, right? And there are attractive prizes which the management has kept for the right answers, right? So all ready to take the prizes? All ready? Yeah, what's this? There is a picture on the left and there is a picture on the right. I'm sure most of us know, right? Sorry? Dubai frame, absolutely. And what's the other one? Burj Khalifa. So what is this picture? Yeah. I'm talking about the India shining in this picture, the India rising in this picture. When other countries celebrate your wins, they celebrate your Independence Day, they celebrate your festivals, that's the importance our country and our countrymen have globally. Are we ready to step up, step above, and make sure that we deliver when asked for? The world is ready to take. Are we ready to give? Are we ready to give quality products? Are we ready to challenge ourselves, take risks, and deliver where it is required in time, in quality? Anybody? Anybody from the audience? The most research on this happens right here, in Chennai. No, not a reactor. Quantum. Please raise your hand. Acha. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot we have the HOD computer science sitting here, SRM, so of course. Right. Right, so where are we? In our city, IIT Madras is the premier-most institute and foremost researcher in the country, which has a mandate from the government. IBM Labs has already set up a research lab inside IIT Madras, right? It is something like, the speed of quantum if you compare it to the supercomputer. So supercomputer would be, what do we call that cricketer who plays for CSK? Lovingly? What do we call him lovingly? Thala. Right. So supercomputer is like Dhoni hitting a 106-meter shot over for a 6 over the boundary, right? That goes roughly at the speed of 160, 170 kilometers per hour, right? Supercomputer is Dhoni hitting that shot at the speed of light. So we are in the era when the hackers say, mine now, harvest later, right? You steal the data now, but you can't decrypt because the algos are strong as of today. But in times to come, with quantum computer in vogue, cheap enough for everyone to use, which eventually it will be, we will be able to break those security protocols that we have. Right. So we are in the era of disruptions, right? The world is changing every year now, probably even less than a year. We used to have revolutions, industry revolutions, milk revolution, that used to be, set apart by decades, right? Then we had the dot-com era in late 90s. And look at where we are from the first time that we started hearing machine learning, right? And blockchain, and then AI. And look, here we are. In everybody's mobile, you are AI enabled. Kids, students, all from the academic faculty know all about it, right? But how do we use it correctly? How do we use the disruptions to propel our successes higher, better, and faster? That is where the Apples of this world, the IBMs of this world score above others, wherein they understand and they can predict and they can react and they're agile enough and they're resilient enough to take shocks and bounce back. That is what our organizations need to be, that is what our leaders need to be, and that is what the leaders of tomorrow, the audience, we all need to be. We need to practice from now, right? I mean, suddenly one day morning I wake up and I'm all resilient and agile. No, it doesn't happen that way, right? We need to absorb it. We need to absorb it not for growth, but also for survival, because survival is difficult in this era of uncertainty and disruption. We were talking about VUCA yesterday. Right, 3 important pillars. Data integrity and trust. So data during motion, data at rest, the REST APIs. The data, if captured incorrectly, the AI layer sits on top of data, right? If the sensors are not good enough or the historical data is not good enough, we will all, there'll be all mayhem because AI works on data's integrity. Agility in processes. The bigger the organization, more is the inertia, right? In fact, one of the speakers in the morning was talking about, rather yesterday morning, why should we have SOPs anymore? Why shouldn't we give flexibility to the Gen Z who are more intelligent and faster than all of us combined? I mean, we don't agree with it, but then that's a generation gap. Why can't we do that? Why can't we have a boundary defined that, okay, you won't go out of this boundary, but do whatever you can in the boundary, provided the results are better and faster? Why not have that flexibility? And that flexibility needs to be propagated within the organization that all of us leaders here at all levels need to make sure. Resilience through predictive intelligence. So intelligence is not good enough. Today when uncertainties hit, then we react, oh, let's do that and let's do this. But then we should be able to predict the uncertainties based on the past data, not just with predictive modeling that we used to do and optimization models that we used to use in 2000s and 2010s, those 2 decades, but based on the data that we have captured over the decades, run AI models and AI algorithms on top of it so that we have predictive intelligence. The new paradigm. So quality is a strategic enabler. It's not a choice anymore. Be it auto manufacturing, be it pharma, or be it service industry as we discussed. Now, the AI needs to be trustworthy. It needs to be repeatable, and most importantly, it needs to be explainable as to if AI is throwing these results to me, how do I explain that? How is it doing it? And mind you, AI today, the engines are so powerful, the algos are so powerful that once the AI gets trained, 40% of the results that AI throws are not explainable. We don't really understand as to how AI is predicting, right? So that is the power of AI. That is the speed, the acceleration at which the quality of algorithm, etc., are growing. And then there are risks, right? You use AI on a biased data set, you will get wrong predictions. You'll get wrong processes. You'll get wrong suggestions. And therefore, you will make wrong decisions. So it is on the integrity of the data, the accuracy of the data on how AI would function best. Integrity ensures resilience, and resilience ensures business continuity. So resilience is something that we need to work on. Culture is something that we need to work on, and we'll talk about it a little bit later again. Smart factories and digital twins. So digital twins, as already brought out by Dr. Rajshekhar, so they are living beings. They can control the water in your tap. They can control the flight path. The entire airports today are on digital twins, so there is no manual intervention. Your factories can be manless with near zero errors. Because unfortunately, wherever human element enters, humans are error prone by nature. And that's actually what makes us unique also. But machines do not make errors, right? It does not make errors in reading. It does not make errors in writing or in suggestions. Right, so I'll take you through 3 case studies. The automotive. So a large automotive company out of Europe deployed, rather enabled their one of the pilot factories fully AI compliant in late 2021 and right out of COVID, right? Many in the industry thought that they were, that was not the right decision to make because there was too much uncertainty, but what the hell, they went ahead with it, and this is what they got. The maintenance downtime was brought down to 30%, right? And all of us from manufacturing industry, we know what that means, right? We had a speaker yesterday talking about how Tata went about it, right? Right. Only thing is that by tweaking processes, by managing processes, by managing people, we could, probably make a difference of 10, maybe 15%, by 10 or by 15%, but this is to 30%, so by 70%. Case study 2, pharma and healthcare. So there is something called API in the pharma industry, which is active pharmaceutical ingredient, right? And that is the base of all the medicines. That is the formula, right? And that is secret, very, very closely guarded. In fact, nobody knows where most of the API factories or storages, the large pharma companies have. They're so secretive. Their security is better than a data center. So anyway, R&D in pharma goes for 10 to 12 to 15 years, and then they are able to bring in a new medicine in the market. Maybe more than that, right? So it's so closely guarded. But what happens is, because of human factor, because of Chinese whispers, because of all other different variables and parameters, sometimes it is very, very highly possible that there is some tweak in communication, and the API formula or the product, it slightly varies, from the first year of research to 5th or 10th year of research. So this company, they engaged us for deployment of the solution. Today, they are able to work on a non-compliance which has been reduced by 40% as far as the API communication and API research on API is concerned. Aerospace and airport operations. This is the most interesting by far and by miles, because airport, again, it's a living being, right? And there are so many stakeholders. It's a very, very complex ecosystem, from concessionaires to flyers to housekeeping staff to pilots to crew to maintenance staff, air side, city side, terminal side. So digital twin simulations, when we had deployed it in Changi Airport, that was the first terminal that we had enabled on digital twin. The cargo operations, we were able to optimize the manpower. With the same resources, we were able to double the throughput of the cargo terminal, utilize the assets from a utility perspective from 40% margin to 85% margin. That's how digital twin is so effective, and the entire procurement model was changed. The entire service procurement model was changed, because where you require 3 people and 3 machinery, normally with a digital twin, wherein it tweaks your processes and tells you how you can optimized, how can you have optimized operations. The need for resources, the need for humans, it normalizes and tells you between 1 hour how many people and how many machinery you will be needing for loading the aircraft, for example. Right, we've heard a lot about digital twins, blockchain, etc. But let me talk about cybersecurity integration, wherein all the IT professionals have been, so cybersecurity, there was no cybersecurity professional till say 10 years ago. The IT professionals, the CIOs used to also lead the cybersecurity function. So makers and checkers, same, everybody was having a ball. Then suddenly it occurred that it was a maker-checker concept and people were not really accountable. So this is how cybersecurity grew from within the IT function, and what it meant was the initial cybersecurity professionals paid more attention to the enterprise IT cybersecurity and not on the OT. And that is the pain area in manufacturing sector today, wherein the OT itself is not cybersecurity. You'll be surprised to know the company that I worked for till 2 years ago, one of the largest conglomerates in India, having several businesses, including airports, ports. I was heading their technology and automation for the entire group. That group took over a company that was into cement manufacturing, right? Thank you. Just a minute more. This is pretty interesting, you should also listen. The cement manufacturer, there was no DMZ in the SCADA, which meant that I could go anywhere, wherever the Wi-Fi signal, weakest Wi-Fi signal was receivable, and I could actually stop production of their entire cement factory. I could induce a malware, I could do whatever, ransomware, whichever. Right. I'll just talk about the culture transformation. Okay, challenges and pitfalls, important. Cyber risks, I've talked about. Cost-benefit trade-offs, the organizations must worry about cost-benefit trade-offs, but in the long run, they are going to pay off. In any case, we are talking about ROI, we are talking about quick ROI, quick turnarounds. All right, let's quickly talk about culture. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. Not by Peter Drucker though, but on the internet you'll find, please go through it. But I'll suggest you 3 books. The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle. Simon Sinek wrote Leaders Eat Last, and The Switch by Chip and Dan. Please read these 3 books because culture is something which does not change immediately. Today you decide to switch on the light and the light gets switched on. The roadmap is simple. You get your data in order, run AI pilots on your data sets, integrate digital twins, scale with integrated frameworks, and have continuous improvement processes. It's hazy, right? The slide is hazy, right? So is the future, right? But what you need to understand is what looks hazy today will eventually clear off when you walk towards it, right? Yes? So the way to future is AI, quantum, sustainability, human-AI collaboration, and most importantly, having quality as a board agenda. There are no limits. Call to action is built with integrity, lead with agility, and scale with resilience. The choice is simple. Prosper or perish. Thank you.
So at the end of the session, what is the impression all of you have got? நாளையிலேருந்து ஏஐன்னு ஒன்று வந்து ஏதோ பண்ண போகுது, குவாலிட்டி நம்ம எந்த வேலையும் பண்ண வேண்டாம், அதானே? Future தான், future it has already come. We are seeing AI every day now. See, please, I just try to quote my mentor and professional guide, Dr. Ravichandran. Nothing in manufacturing will work if you don't touch the process, touch the machine, touch the people. AI can only help you, augment you. Definitely you need AI, but it has to augment all of our process and make it an excellent one to improve our efficiency and productivity. And finally, I would like to quote from today morning, I have been hearing right from our chief guest, Mr. T.K. Balaji, about China, and followed by our ex-chairman of ISRO. I would like to share my experience of China. In 2019, month of September, I visited a place called Wuhan. That time I didn't know about Wuhan. If I had known, I would not have gone. I went there to source a machine for laser cladding. You know, we are making engine walls. At the tip of the wall, we need to deposit a stellite material. Just 0.2 mm, we need to make a dish and then deposit this. I happened to go there, and we had connected with a supplier in Wuhan. And the promoter was a lady. She took me in her car. It was like a big township. I am from Neyveli, so I am saying that it is like a Neyveli township. Huge place, only for laser. There are about hundreds of offices, factories, etc. Everybody is specializing on laser. So she took me to her office, and then I explained what is that I need. She noted down. She couldn't understand and comprehend. So she told me, come on with me. She took again in her car into the same township in a central place. There is a very big university. Again, that university in that Wuhan township is focusing only on laser research. So she put me in front of a professor. I did the same, explained the same thing. He took me around the university. He showed me laser cladding from small thing to a very big shaft, turbine shafts, and how the machine is being designed. He gave that design to this supplier, and then she made that design, and then they supplied. Now, why I'm saying this is, like we listened in the morning, China is growing, China is prospering because they also invest in this type of thing. We talk about isolation like IIT Madras and some of the institutes, but I think every township should be developed for each one of these different fields, and we should also, the institutes also should support, and particularly like our country where we have MSMEs, if that type of support is extended, I think definitely India can prosper better than anybody else. With this, I conclude this session, and thank you.
This applause is not enough. Really, it should be big.